Hey guys, color reviewing set 71775 Nia Samurai X Mech. This set released June 1st this year, retails for €110 and comes with 8 minifigures. Well, that said, let's get into the review. So the first minifigure we have here in this set is Nia in her brand new Samurai X armor, and it looks really great. I really like the blue, and I'm surprised this is our first time that they've decided to give Nia a blue Samurai X armor. But I hope in the future she doesn't get her powers back, that they stick with this color scheme, as it's pretty good. On the top here on the helmet, it uses a brand new piece. I don't know what you would call this part of the helmet, but it looks pretty good. You also get like multiples of these in every set, which is a bit much considering Nia only comes in one set in this wave, but it's whatever. She also reuses the mouth guard that General Kozu and her past Samurai X outfits have used in gold this time. And she also uses the Mr. E armor in gold, and it looks pretty good. Going onto the torso there, you can see the Samurai X logo there in front, which looks pretty good. And the legs, which are very reminiscent of her fusion suit from Hands of Time, which is pretty cool. And at the back, you just have more armor plating printing there, which it looks pretty good. I would say this is definitely one of the best Samurai X armors we've gotten. Although in my opinion, I think the tournament / possession one is still the best, but that's up for debate. Removing the helmet there, you can see it's just her normal face print she's been using since the movie, which just hasn't changed all that much, but it still looks pretty good. But anyway, with all that said, let's move on to the next minifigure in this set. So the next minifigure we have in this set here is Jay in his resistance suit, which looks really great. This is also, ironically, the cheapest way to get him, which is a bit bizarre, considering the only other set he comes in is the Golden Ultra Dragon, which is a scam of a set in my opinion. This suit though, it looks pretty good, again with the like kind of armor there, very reminiscent of his hero suit from season 13, but it looks pretty good. He reuses the same legacy hood they've been using all the way back since 2019, just this time obviously in gold and blue with the resistance logo there. Removing the mask so you get a better look at the face print, it's again the same one he's been using since the movie, which looks pretty good. Taking a look at the legs as well, again very reminiscent of the Shintaro armor, and flip around the back. If we remove the back attachment, you can get a better look at the back printing there, which also has a symbol there. It looks pretty good, and this is also what the suit looks like as well, if you were wondering, without the armor. It still looks pretty good. But anyway, let's move on to the next minifigure in this set. Probably one of the most interesting minifigures seen in the set as well is Little Nelson. This is our first Nelson minifigure since Day of the Departed back in 2016, so it has been a while. But it is weird with this version is that he's still a kid for some reason. In the show, he's clearly a teenager now. So I don't really know why they kept him as a kid in the sets. It's a bit weird. But here he has the Resistance banner, which we remove. You get 2 of these in the set, and they're both stickers, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's whatever. He reuses that same hood and hat combo they've used with Hidden Side and also with Scott back in Prime Empire, which if we remove it here, you can better look at the face print, which just has a printed on mask there, and at the back has a very happy face, which obviously this is a new face printing for this wave. Which also, if you look at the hat as well, just realize it's also got like what looks to be maybe a Sensei Wu like logo, kind of like the Wu Crew or something, which is interesting. I also really do like that torso as well with the jacket and the blue shirt underneath. But turning over to the back as well, he reuses that same, I don't know what you would call it, the same back attachment that they used for some of the Zukin suits during tournament, but also most notably on Deadpool in the X-Men sets. He also has 2 katanas in like baby blue or very light blue. But anyway, if we remove the back attachment, you can see the printing on the back is very much like the printing on his hat. It looks like Sensei Wu, and this is also what he looks like as well without the armor on, which is very subtle detail. But anyway, let's move on to the next minifigure in this set. Next minifigure we have here in this set is Master Wu in a completely brand new suit, which looks really great. He reuses the armor from Hunted on the golden armor, which looks really great. I wasn't really expecting them to bring that back like ever, maybe like Legacy Hunted, but that's pretty cool. Flipping to the side as well, he also has a back attachment for the Resistance banner, and because of this as well, he can't really stand up straight without being connected to like a minifigure stand or something. So if you're displaying this version of Wu, just keep that in mind. He reuses the same face print from Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu, which we can better look at if we remove the armor. You can get a better look at the torso and legs there, which looks pretty good. Flip around to the back as well, you can see he's got his old symbol, and he also has a like ponytail as well on his headpiece, which looks pretty good. Again, I mean, obviously, this isn't what Wu looks like without the beard. You don't get an extra beard in this set, so if you want to play with the armor, so it's whatever. But it looks pretty good. I really like the way these robes look. But anyway, let's move on to the next minifigure in the set. One of the very best minifigures in the set as well is Oni Garmadon. This is our first Oni Garmadon we've ever gotten, which this mask print is way better than he looked in March of the Oni. I'll say that for at least this one looks good and also looks very cartoony and menacing. I really like it. But it's essentially just an Oni mask, the same mold on the brand new like helmets, which are meant to replace the biker helmets. Which if you flip it up there, you can see it's just Garmadon's face print underneath. The legacy one they've been using since 2019. It's nothing special there. The torso is very reminiscent of his like Sons of Garmadon look, like with the upper torso, and I really like it. Flip around to the back though, you can see as well he's got Wu's logo at the back, or symbol, which again looks pretty good. Overall, it's just a really great minifigure. It is kind of a bummer though we didn't get him with his upper torso like we see in the trailer, with also his dragon wings. Kind of wish we got that, but it's whatever. I'm sure it's probably easy to make with a custom or something. But overall, a great minifigure. Well said. Let's move on to the next minifigure in the set. Probably the lamest minifigure in the set is just Avenged and Warrior. He's just kind of here. Don't really know why. He's just thrown in. Not too much else to say. It's reviewed a bunch of these. These are very common figures, by the way, if you're buying all of the crystallized waves. So keep that in mind. But it looks cool, but again, not too special. Anyway, let's move on to the next minifigure in the set. Again, one of the best minifigures in the set is White Pythor. He just looks really great. This is our first White Pythor since David departed back in 2016 as well. So it was a great opportunity to get this one. He also has the like weapon of destruction, as in the Nunchucks Lightning version. Which I gotta say, they look way better here, like with the crystal blade, than they do on their own, which is just really cool. Although it looks more like a lightning rod or something. But yeah, again, looking at his headpiece, is essentially the same printing I believe they used for his white one. Obviously now with more purple eyes and the purple gem as well now for his crystallized look. But if we remove his head, you can see there as well, he just uses the same general armor, like torso design that like literally all the generals use in this wave, so it's nothing special there. He also has the armor as well for possibly a back attachment, but there's not in the set to attach to the back. Although pretty cool as well is that the armor continues down onto his tail, which looks again really great. Probably again one of the best minifigures in this set. But anyway, let's move on to the last minifigure in this set. So the last minifigure we have in this set here is the Mechanic. This is our second ever Mechanic, with the first being Ninjago City Gardens. This one though is, I mean, it's somewhat accurate. I mean, comparing it to the original one from 2021, you can definitely see that at least they decided to give him a more accurate kind of arm. But removing his hat to get a better look at his face print there, it looks like really angry. It's like not very much fitting with the Mechanic. He looks like a lot more evil than the Mechanic usually does, but it's still pretty great. He has the attachment there as well with just purple lightning shooting out, which again looks pretty good. And he just uses the same general armor that we've seen a bunch throughout this wave. If you've seen all my previous reviews, I've taken a look at this armor again and again, and it's okay, I guess. With the Mechanic though, this just doesn't fit him whatsoever. He's usually obviously wearing trench coats and stuff, so it just doesn't really fit well with his character design, but it's whatever. But anyway, let's move on to the side build of the set. So taking a look at the side build in the set here, we have like this crystallized dragon thing. This is like very interesting. From what we've seen so far in the trailer and the show, these are a lot bigger. They also do have printing in the show, or at least they have eyes, but here they don't. So I'm guessing this might be a different monster we see, like an incomplete variant or something. He doesn't have the normal jaw either. It doesn't even open. It's connected with like a Technic pin. So you can't open the jaw, but you do have these crystal like teeth here, I guess, that can move, but they're meant to be stuck like that. He also does have like quite a lot of crystal blades here, which can just be moved and whatnot. And going around to the back, his legs also, he doesn't stay on them like that well. They're connected using mixed ball joints, which I think looks fine. But the main gimmick for the wingspan is just using those Evo pieces in purple, which I think definitely for this they help to like with the arms make them look like a lot wider, like a big wingspan or something. But again, it would be maybe better if you could adjust the hands and whatnot, but it's fine, it's whatever. I think it's a fine, like, side build, but, like, it's okay. They look a lot better in the show, but hopefully someday we'll get a more accurate version. But anyway, let's move on to the main build of the set. So taking like the mech itself, it is very, very big. It's really great though. I really like the blue it uses instead of the normal red. Up here on the shoulder, like they're kind of like cannons with the flick or the spring-loaded missiles here, which you can press down. I'm not going to. It's just gonna hit the ceiling here. I really like the X as well. It's like very distinct. We don't really normally see like an X on like any Samurai X mech, which is weird. It's normally Nia's usual like symbol, but it's really great to see here. Up at the top as well, you have like this rhinoceros horn, which you can move up and down, whatnot. The head, though, I think is like very finicky. Like to get into place, it doesn't really snap into place per se. It's a bit weird like that. Another thing going down here as well, you can see the resistance symbol here. This part is also kind of more like a cloth, which it definitely looks pretty good. I do like this way they're doing it with these newer mechs. Here as well, you have the like scuba piece from Seabound in like a pure black, which looks really great. I hope we get these in more sets. They look very cool here. And here down, you just have two X's on the feet, which up here with the arms as well. This one falls off a lot. This one doesn't, but I know definitely like positioning this sometimes it will just like that. It will just completely fall off, which is a bit weird. But just let me reattach it. So we can better look at the hand here, which just holds the sword. They're identical on both sides. You can see the thumb there, which is like, it's a bit weird. Like normally mechs don't have thumbs. I definitely do think this one maybe shouldn't have had it because it's a bit weird. Like the way it props up with the sword and whatnot. But you can just move it around like that. But it's weird. It's a bit weird. But if we take a look inside the cockpit, you can see that Nya just fits in there really great. You do have to put down the horns so they don't stand up. Like they automatically get pressed down when you close the top, which is a bit weird. You have the infamous Among Us sticker right there, looking pretty good. Insert Among Us here. Here as well, you just have like some sort of, I don't know, like diagnostics or something with like a Samurai X blueprint there, and you can just see there the Nya just fits in pretty well, pretty snug fit. And you can just close it up here like this, which, yeah, it's pretty good. You try to get it to stand up, which also reminds me on the feet. This is produced by Quentin Tarantino. You can see here it uses these orange pins, which these pins, like normally they're using black for the Thunder Raider, I think it's called, or whatever. It uses these in black, but here they're in orange. And I do hope mechs in the future, specifically big mechs, do use these like kind of, they're like kind of like suction kind of. So like it stands up, but it doesn't fall over a lot. And I think that would definitely help with sets like the Legacy Titan mech and whatnot, which definitely do need it. It does fall over quite a bit. But flipping around to the side here, you can see that you have Nia's Samurai X logo up here. And here as well, you just have an X, which looks pretty good. Here as well, you have gold bars, which I think these are meant to look like a spine or something protruding out, which looks pretty good. Not sure what else to say really about the back itself. You have this like kind of loincloth thing continuing over to the back as well, which looks really great. Again, they use these on like a lot of bigger modern mechs, which I think looks really good. It's very unique, to say the least. But yeah, overall, it's a good set. Highly recommend. But all that said, let's move on to the instructions. Which these instructions are much thinner for some reason. They also continue the horrible trend of the instruction look. Although I will say this, the win back looks like a lot better with this kind of design, but that is my opinion. You know, crucify me in the comics, or comments I should say. Here we rebuild the world. I still don't get what this is about. I think this is about switching over plastic bags to paper, which just still hasn't happened. Probably next year it will. Here again, you have all the sets, which the only sets I have left to review on the channel are the Crystal King Temple, and I'm just not buying that. I'm going to wait for like Oni Lloyd to be available in the Ninjago magazine or something, or just spend the €40 on Bricklink because I hate that set so much. It is really bad. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's move on to the box and my final opinions. So taking a look at the box itself here, you have this really nice artwork of the Samurai X mech on like a highway or something, fighting whatever this is supposed to be. And again, I gotta reiterate, I love the way this box is just, the box art is getting crystallized. It is really cool. Up here as well, you have like Resistance Lloyd with the dragons, which again, very interesting to see what's up with that on the show, because apparently they are the ninja, which would be cool to see. Here as well, you just have all the minifigures. Again, it looks pretty great, which again, this probably has like the best set to get minifigures for in this entire wave. But flipping around to the back, you can see here the Samurai X Mech in like an action pose here, defending against, well, this maybe a bit overkill to go against this thing. Remember, the leaks definitely did think this would be like an Unagami mech or dragon or something, but unfortunately it isn't. Here as well, you can just see Nya in the Samurai X cockpit there. You just have all the minifigures fighting and whatnot. But flip around to the front, because I did forget about a very special Easter egg. Now, obviously, with all the resistance stuff going on, that would ensue like a war or something in Ninjago, which you can definitely see here. Just making out all the characters here. That's definitely one of the SOG grunts from the Brooktober packs. I'll put an image up on the screen right here. So that's very interesting. I wonder, does that mean then the Sons of Garmadon are going to get like their own little mini redemption arc this season? Here as well, you have a bunch of other crystallized things. You can see one of the spiders there. Although, interestingly enough, there as well, you can also see Ed. I just realized, and I think maybe that's meant to be Edna, Jay's parents, which is pretty cool. But I forget, like, I don't know if it's specifically on a set or whatnot, but definitely on one of the artworks, you can see Harumi fighting in the background on the resistance side, which, that's very interesting. I wonder what's up with that. I really hope they don't redeem her. I am definitely in full support of the theory that it is Avatar Harumi, not real Harumi. But anyway, overall, what do I think about this set? It's pretty good. But considering in August, or well, over here now that we know, in at least here in Europe, in September, it's going up to 120, when in America, it's all automatically going to be 120 in August. It is not worth 120. I would say it's barely worth 110. I would say at most, it should have been 100, considering Zane's Titan mech was 60. I mean, it didn't come with this amount of minifigures, obviously. It came with like barely half of that. But considering this mech is basically nearly the same size, it's like a head bigger or so. I think 100 would have been the perfect price. 110, again, pushing 120 is not so good. Again, that's an issue with Ninjago sets this year. The pricing is horrendous. But anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.